Hello, everybody. Catholic Dad signing in for episode number 20. Today, I want to talk a little bit about global warming. And, I'm no expert on global warming, but I am a little bit of a chemist and a little bit of a scientist. Um, and, just something to think about. Not that I'm trying to say it doesn't exist or it does exist and what's causing it, what's not causing it. Everybody talks about CO2 levels and how that causes global warming. Well, I'm not so sure of that. In fact, scientists shouldn't be sure of that. And here's the reason why. Where's the largest reserves and repositories of carbon dioxide in the world? Just where are they? It's actually in rock, limestone. I was a geology major, chemistry minor in college, and I kind of have affinity for chemistry. So most of the carbon dioxide in the world is not like stored in fossil fuels. It's stored in rock, limestone, carbonic acid, and calcium carbonates. And so where does the calcium carbonate and carbonic acids come from? Well, they come from the oceans. Well, how does carbon dioxide get in the ocean? Well, it comes from the air, right? And carbon dioxide is one of these interesting gaseous compounds that has high solubility in water. Now, so you have this big reserve of carbon dioxide in the oceans. Very little in the atmosphere, actually. Very little to speak of. Most of it's in the oceans compared to the air, and more carbon dioxide is actually in rock. And then, so the carbon dioxide in the oceans can either go into solution in the atmosphere, leave water solution, go in the atmospheric solution, or it can be created into like mollusk animals, oysters, algae, animal feces, and then it can be deposited down to the bottom of the oceans. It goes into hypoxic environment and gets deposited and turns into limestone, right? And so that's what happens to the carbon dioxide within the atmosphere. Now, what happens to the solubility of carbon dioxide in water as the temperature goes up? The solubility of carbon dioxide in water goes down, meaning that if oceans warm, it's going to release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And therefore, when people say, oh, we have more carbon dioxide in the world, that's why it's warmer. Well, you don't know that. In fact, because the solubility of gas or carbon dioxide in water and the atmosphere is almost instantaneous, you don't know if the warming atmosphere created more carbon dioxide in the air due to the decreased solubility of carbon dioxide in water, or did the carbon dioxide genuinely warm the atmosphere? And if that happened, then the decrease in solubility in water also happened. So therefore, the oceans deposited or released some carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And therefore, when we measure carbon dioxide loads, we don't know if we're measuring already stored carbon dioxide or fossil fuel carbon dioxide. Like, nobody really knows that. And so, really, that's an interesting fact that I don't think anybody takes into account. And certainly, I've read some of the literature on global warming, and people don't really talk about that. Maybe it's the warming atmosphere that's creating the higher carbon dioxide levels. Because certainly, if it got colder, the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere would go into solution into the oceans, then would precipitate to the bottom of the oceans. And so really, the equilibrium of carbon dioxide with the ocean and the atmosphere and the limestone, that is an interesting variable which nobody has controlled for in the experiments as far as I'm concerned. And so therefore, let's see, this is Catholic Dad making you think about it. Perhaps fossil fuel released carbon dioxide is not increasing carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. Perhaps it's the ocean when the planet's getting slightly warmer now, because, everybody says, oh, the planet's warming, and me, I as a geologist, I say, yeah, no duh, the planet is warming, because right where I'm sitting right now, 15,000 years ago during the Pleistocene, there were 2 miles of ice sitting on this very point. So I'm sitting here right now, and there's no miles of ice. Like, there's absolutely zero ice where I'm sitting right now. So in the last 15,000 years, the Earth has gotten dramatically warmer. Did fossil fuels and human activity make the glaciers recede? No. I mean, nobody would ever make that argument. And so, therefore, yeah, absolutely, Earth's getting getting warmer since the Pleistocene, and absolutely, it's getting much warmer. And oh, by the way, most of it humans had nothing to do with, because humans weren't even like on the planet for that long. So, interesting. Yeah, just interesting. Think about that. And well, anyway, Catholic Dad signing off. Don't accept everything that everybody tells you. There certainly are little factoids in science and thinking that you can do that will perhaps alter your position when you see dramatic articles within the paper. So there you go. Catholic Dad signing off. If you like or subscribe, All right, if you like this article, please like or subscribe, and get to Mass and Pray the Rosary Daily. Thank you. Have a nice night.